Resolution 2008-105, amending Resolution 2007-083, accepting the warranty deed dedication of 4 wash parcels from Bella Vista Ranches, and Resolution 2008-106, acceptance of public improvements Ventana Park subdivision be approved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor? Unanimous. Thank you. Public hearings for the next 2 items. Mrs. Doctor.
Mr. Mayor, I move that Resolution 2008-107, Declaration of Chapter 95, Stormwater Pollution Prevention, and declaring a 30-day public record be approved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Mr. Herwig, and then I have one request for to speak to the council.
Mr. Chairman, members of the council, ladies and gentlemen, as was indicated in the motion that was just read, this is declaring for a 30-day public record a ordinance which is proposed as Chapter 95 of the City Code. Excuse me. The ordinance deals with stormwater pollution prevention and comes as a result of the city's designation as an MS4 community. And as you know from the many discussions we've had about this program over the years, the sort of jargon name stands for Municipal Separate Storm Sewer System, which in the city's case is basically our washes. This began back in the 1970s with the Clean Water Act, which became law across the country. Phase 1 was focused on direct source polluters, large industries, communities that were dumping pollutants into streams, lakes, rivers, the oceans. And basically that was the focus of the program for many years, was to clean up bodies of water where they could find direct source polluters. The second phase under the Clean Water Act got into sort of non-source point polluters. Somebody may be dumping oil over here on a piece of land, and eventually as the storm comes along it runs down, gets into a street, eventually runs through a cul-de-sac maybe, and ends up going down into a wash, which is, as I said, our storm sewer system. Several years back, the Environmental Protection Agency took this whole program, delegated it down to the states across America. They in turn have delegated it down to communities, and as you know, the city was chosen some years back to be the MS4, to be an MS4 community. The whole focus of the program, of course, is to identify pollutants that have the potential to get into stormwater or are getting into stormwater, and then try to reduce or eliminate those, and so that the nation's waters, and in our case the waters in our community, are not affected by pollution. The requirements under the EPA and ADEQ program have basically, we've been working in about 6 different areas, focusing on public outreach, public education. You've seen the flyers that we have, and they're starting to, I think, put these in the city page, dealing with sort of basic things a lot of folks may deal with in their home if they're doing gardening, if they're doing painting, and some of the things to do and not do, the potential for possible stormwater off it, working with the contracting community, of course, road work and paving, excavation and grading, many of the construction sites, of course, you see around town that have the silt fencing up, that all comes about as a result of the MS4 program. Home repair, remodeling, we also have them for restaurants, auto repair shops, all the sort of things where potentially something that folks do may end up polluting our groundwater system. So we've been working in those 6 areas. As you know, the council adopted the stormwater management plan, which was eventually approved by ADEQ, and the final step is to adopt an ordinance, which thereby gives us the authority to address these areas in the field as we come across them. The state, of course, did that for many years. Now that they've put the program down to the community level, and now that we are officially the MS4 community, the ordinance needs to be adopted so that we have the authority, if we come across a problem area, to be able to address it. A big area, for example, would be what they call illicit discharge, where somebody is sort of either deliberately or maybe not, or maybe unknowingly, dumping something that eventually ends up in our washes, or maybe dumping it directly into the washes. This gives us the authority to address the various areas that are required under the EPA program. Jennifer Thornton of our staff and myself have basically been doing this program, going out to the construction sites, going around, went through all the washes and found potential areas where there may be illicit discharge could possibly get in, and all these sort of things, of course, we'll have to be tracking now for many years. One of the largest industries in our community affected by this program is the construction industry. And as the many drafts of this ordinance were worked on over the past several years, we worked closely with SACA, the Southeastern Arizona Contractors Association, who actually established a committee, a subcommittee, to work with us on it. And they've been very helpful in terms of both providing us the opportunity to speak to the SACA group about the MS4 program on several occasions, and to work with the subcommittee and see how would this work and how does that work and how does this actually play out in the field. So we'd like to thank them for all the time they put into this, working with us on this. And I believe at this point we have an ordinance that, that they're both satisfied with, and we feel will do a good job to implement the MS4 program and protect the stormwater from pollution within our community. As indicated at the beginning, tonight's action declares this a public record for 30 days. It'll come back either the last meeting in September or the first one in October for final action. And of course, at that time, we'll let you know if we've received any additional comments.
Okay, thank you. I think prior to council comments, we'll hear from Mr. Michael Serapina. He's with Castle and Cook, part of that organization that has helped the city and others develop this ordinance that we have. Michael?
Thank you, Mayor Strain, council members. I'm here tonight representing SACA, and really to echo what Mr. Herwig has said. We've been real pleased that we've been part of the process for helping to develop this, since we've been involved in it for many years now through both the EPA and ADEQ. And we're here to say that we support this ordinance and the way it's been drafted, and appreciate the city's approach on this, on education and awareness. It's a much better approach than some that we've dealt with in the past, dealing with federal government agencies like the EPA. And so again, we're just here to say, I'm here to say that we do support the city's approach on this and the ordinance, and appreciate the fact that we were allowed to be involved in this. So, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Serapina. Council comments and questions. Ms. Husky.
This is really great for the community to know what to do with hazardous waste too. It really is a public education effort as much as anything. And the fact that we have not only the residents but the construction industry on board, in fact contributing to an effective document that makes sense to all parties, is really great. One of the things that I get to do as a water education instructor in the schools is to talk to kids about point source and non-point source pollution, water pollution. And so this will be great to have actual documentation to back it up and to talk about what our community is doing to prevent water pollution. So I'm fully for it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other thoughts, questions, Garnet? One question I have, do Department of Environmental Quality and the Environmental Protection Agency have to approve our ordinance?
Mayor Strain, we have, as we drafted different points in the drafting process, we had asked the ADEQ to look at it, give us some thoughts on it, and so we've included some of those into this. But there is not a provision that, as I understand it, that they have to actually approve the final ordinance. They basically want to know that under the Stormwater Pollution Prevention Plan that the council adopted some years back, that we have in fact adopted an ordinance.
Okay. With that, we'll call for the vote. All in favor? And it's unanimous. Thank you, Mr. Herwig.